welcome to the first episode of our brand new podcast, Two Reds, One Devil. Formerly known as the Route 1 Football Podcast, which we have now officially laid to rest. It is officially over. We had some good times with the Route 1 Football Podcast, but now it's time for a fresh start ahead of the new season under a brand new name, new logo, new everything. It'll still be the same old shit, me, Ryan and Jake, chatting and usually arguing about Manchester United and Liverpool every week, and with a little sprinkling of Premier League football as well. I'll reintroduce the boys because you might not have known them if you're new here. Ryan.
Yeah, we do argue quite a bit.
Jake.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah, nice to speak to you again. I'm sure it won't be long before we start bickering about something. So we basically thought the best content we really made came from our arguments about United and Liverpool, which is why we've sort of changed our name to Two Reds, One Devil. We've changed the logo, changed the YouTube art, we've changed a lot of things, but we're hoping the same podcast will still come through.
Things that are still going to remain the same, aren't they? Really?
You
still won't be able to understand why.
Way.
We're no longer in the studio. We've all graduated uni now, which is a bit strange because we used to have a podcast studio we were able to use at uni, which obviously made things a hell of a lot easier. But after sort of a couple of hours, mostly down to Jake, we've managed to get everything sorted and start recording. So any teething problems in this first episode, hopefully we'll be able to iron out over the next few weeks.
Yeah, hopefully a new laptop will sort that for me. But
we'll see. Anyway, we've got some football to look forward to. And Ryan, I think, has got a quiz before we get into it.
Straight into a quiz.
Are we going to go straight in, are we?
Well, unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
No, that's great. Season 2 of quiz.
I was just going to say, if you've been up to anything at all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, maybe the fans will.
Now, I watched the England game last night, and I tell you what, that was rubbish.
I'm so glad I'm not invested with England, you know.
At least Northern Ireland did well, Ryan. What score was that?
It doesn't matter.
No, genuinely, I don't know what score it was.
We lost by 1 or 2.
Oh, actually.
Well, is it 1 or 2?
I remember that Haaland boy. Scored a couple of worldies, didn't he? Asked for Stuart Dallas's shirt.
Yeah, well, he knows his icons. He knows his championship legends.
I might have to come back to the England game later on because there's a couple of things I want to raise with you maybe before we get into the transfer talk. But Ryan, get on with your quiz.
Right, season 2 of not Route 1 Football Podcast, but Two Reds, One Devil quiz. So the first quiz of the season will be both United and Liverpool related. Jake, I'm going to ask you 10 questions about Liverpool, and I'll give the same about United, and then you're both going to get asked 5 questions about the Premier League. And this is all from last season, just trying to recap your memory from last season.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm a bit nervous.
So
I feel
need to find my pen now.
I feel like without the podcast, my football knowledge has gone a bit dry. It's gone a bit cold.
Well, this was getting you back on your toes,
Yeah.
getting you back at the swing of things.
I've heard it's a tricky one.
We'll see.
Okay.
So who wants to volunteer and go first?
Go on, I'll go first.
Okay, and Jake, would you like set A or set B for Premier League questions?
I'm going to go set B.
Set B, right. I'm going to give a timer as well so we don't take the piss. These are supposed to be quick fire questions.
Okay, so how long have we got to... Is it more a case of if you don't answer within like 5 seconds then...
You can just pass. It's up to you how long you want to take on a question, but once your timer's up, that's everything.
How long is the timer?
15 questions, so 2 minutes.
Sounds good to me, yeah.
Right, so your time will start...
Fucking hell, I'm feeling the pressure now.
Your time will start now. So, who did Liverpool play in the first game of the season?
Norwich.
Name 2 of the goal scorers in that game.
Or... Salah and... Keita?
No. Who scored for the Reds at the 1-1 draw at Old Trafford?
The 1-0 draw at Old Trafford.
1-0 draw.
Liverpool's
what,
last game of the season
did you say
is at
1-0
home to
draw or 1-1
Palace.
draw?
1
What was
all
it,
draw.
sorry?
Liverpool's last game of the season is at home to Palace, but what was the score in the same fixture last season?
3-1.
No. Who were two of Liverpool's Champions League group stage opponents?
This season, fuck. Napoli.
Yep, one more.
And who the fuck did
I
we
could
play?
get this.
God, I've been so
Just to
out of
throw
it
my
with football.
2 pence in.
Fucking hell.
Your
Red
time's
Bull.
running out.
Red Bull.
Yeah. How many goals did Mo Salah score for Premier League?
19.
No. Who scored Liverpool's final goal of the Premier League season?
Firmino?
No. Who did they
it's
play
a
in the third round of FA Cup?
Oh, fuck knows. Pass.
How many points did they end up ahead of City?
Oh, fuck me. It was fucking huge. Was it 19 in the end?
Oh, 18. Who scored more goals? Ox, Origi, or Van Dijk?
Van Dijk.
No, it was Ox.
Was it actually
He was
England, really?
confident.
And 5 Premier League questions. Where did Sheffield United finish?
Where did... Oh, right, so this isn't Liverpool related, okay. Sheffield United finished 8th.
No. Who was the only Uruguayan
me.
to appear in the league last season?
The who, sorry?
Only Uruguayan.
Is it you start till you'll finish, or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only Uruguayan to appear in the league last season?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
It don't mean you get all the time in the world for it.
Pass.
Right. Yeah.
No.
It was Lucas Torreira.
Oh, shit, yeah. Mate,
So-
I tell you what, it's a rusty start.
Do you know what?
Can
This
tell
is-
we've been off for a while.
Yeah,
3.
honestly.
Not great, Jake.
I might just dispute one of them points as well.
Which
Go
one?
for it.
For unappealing.
Is it the Red Bull one?
Yeah.
I know it's Salzburg, innit? But
He needs all the points he can get. We'll
Didn't
give him that
specify.
one.
at this point, I'm not being funny at this point. You're going to trounce me about 5 points. Don't take off what I don't need. Like,
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So, okay, are you ready for yours?
I'm not getting complacent yet.
no, I think I'm just going
I'll
to try
just-
and load as much pressure on you as much as I can now. Because that's the only shot I've got of any redemption here. Go
Okay, I'll just pressure you a little to try speed it up because Jake didn't finish all of his questions.
Yeah, okay.
Just so you know.
I'll
So,
just
are you
say
ready?
I'll just say whatever pops into my head first.
Yeah. Well, you only have 3 debates, so
Yeah.
can't do any worse, really.
Was
can
that fuck off? Was it only 3 points? Oh my god.
you? So, are you ready, Augie?
Oh.
Yep.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Who did United play in the first game of last campaign?
Aston Villa. No.
No. Name 2 goal scorers in that game. It was against Chelsea.
Oh, Rashford and Martial.
Yeah. United and Liverpool drew 1-1. Who got United's goal?
Rashford.
Yeah. First game of United season is Palace at home, but what also scored in the fixture last season?
Oh, did we lose 2-1?
Yeah. Name 2 of the teams United faced in the group stage of Europa League.
Oh, they're all farmers. Astana, and Partizan Belgrade.
Yeah.
Hey.
Who did Odion Gallo score his first goal against?
Derby.
Club Brugge. Who scored United's final goal of the Premier League season?
Martial.
Lingard.
Oh yeah.
Who did they play in the third round of FA Cup?
Tranmere.
Wolves. Who is the only outfield player to play every minute of last season's Premier League campaign?
Harry Maguire.
Yeah. And finally, who scored more goals, Pogba, McTominay or James?
McTominay.
Yeah. Now your 5 Premier League questions. Where did Wolves win finish?
7th.
Yeah. Which 2 players scored a hat-trick when Leicester beat Southampton 9-0?
Vardy and Perez.
Yeah. Who played City in the Carabao Cup final?
Arsenal.
No. Who started last season as Watford manager?
Pass. I can't remember his name.
And who scored more Premier League goals? Dele Alli, Christian Pulisic or Jack Grealish?
Pulisic.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Not bad at all.
I'll take that.
No,
Who was the Watford manager at the start of the season? That's
Javi Garcia.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
that's so
There's
funny
your
how
name.
tricky that is because it just feels like so long ago Watford had. How many different managers they had? They've had Pearson.
Yeah, they've had a lot.
He was even their manager now.
And they got some new boy. Can't even remember his name.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm happy with that.
You've got a
I'm-
considerable lead, I must say.
I'm disappointed.
9-3.
Could have got the first game of the season. I was disappointed with that. But once I got warmed up, you know,
Well, we're now
Aaron-
going into round 2, which is who am I, and the points carry over.
Of all these questions there.
Sorry, what did I get? What did I get?
You got 9.
Whew, I'll take that. So
So
what's the second round?
it's who am I? Who am I's for the final round.
Oh no,
And we all know about the who am I's.
we've missed the who am
Here
I's.
we go. This is hopefully a bit of redemption here.
Right, and I'll tell you this much. I have 3 players. One of them has definitely played for United. One of them has definitely played for Liverpool. And the other has played for neither.
Ooh,
But I'm not going to tell you which one is which.
okay.
Okay.
Okay? Right, so my first clue is I have played with Dusan Tadic, Callum Chambers, and Fernando Torres. And there is no time limit, but I'm going to have to push these after a while
Yeah, that's fair enough.
for 3 points. Jake, you need a 3-pointer in here.
Really do.
Tadic, Chambers, and Fernando Torres.
Any
Um,
punts? Early doors?
Not got much. I'm just gonna have a random guess and say Dejan Lovren,
No.
just to get us going. Take one for the team.
I'm gonna say Daily Blind.
No. For 2 points, I joined my current club in the January transfer window.
Ooh. Ooh.
Tough one, this.
Yeah.
Who the fuck moved in January?
I'm feeling like this is the one that's played for Navy United or Liverpool.
I was thinking that, but then I feel like it could be some curve.
I'm trying to think
who
who-
for like one of them at like an earlier point in his career.
If they joined in, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. I've
Any
missed
more
this. I've missed this knowing that there's someone at home who's absolutely screaming.
Probably fucking Rob.
Yeah.
Rob, if you're listening, we expect the 3 points from you. Let us know in the comment section down below.
I've got nothing. I'm gonna have to pass.
Jake, we move on to the final clue. We'll move on to the final clue.
Oh yeah, pass.
Final clue. I have a World Cup and Nations League runners-up medal. So if you memory's decent, you'll be able to work out the nation.
Cup and the Nations.
Yeah, I've got the nation. But who has played with all them? Oh, is it Van Dijk?
Nope.
No, not played with Torres, has he?
Not a bad shout at all. But 2010 was a bit early for him.
Yeah, true.
Oh, who the fuck is it then? Who's a really old Dutch player?
Gonna have to push you, Mr. Barr. I feel like you will be kicking yourself.
Yeah,
I probably
it's on the
will
tip
be.
of my tongue.
Fucking
5.
I'm just gonna put. It won't be, but Memphis Depay.
I'm afraid not. It was, in fact, former Liverpool player Ryan Babel.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah. No, you can. Fuck's sake. Yeah, 'cause he's
that's
at
good.
Ajax now, isn't he?
I was thinking Southampton,
Yeah.
with Chambers and Tadic. Chambers obviously on loan at Fulham, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Torres at Liverpool, Tadic where would Tadic have been? Ajax.
Ajax right now.
Yeah.
Tours it. Of course.
And obviously last season Nations League, and he was in the squad in 2010
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
World
he's
Cup.
been around since like 2007.
He's quite
8, I think.
he's quite trusted at international level, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he had
Just
like a
go on,
lot of
play.
hype around him at one point, didn't he? Because I know
Yeah.
we signed him off the back of a really good. I think it was like an under-20s tournament or something.
He was all right for Fulham when he joined them last season. or 2 seasons ago.
Well, I hate to break this to you, Jake, but you
Oh,
need
I know I need 2 3-pointers, don't I?
for a tiebreak.
Oh god.
And I don't have a tiebreak, so to be honest, if you get the 2 3-pointers, you just get the win. So
Sound.
the next 3-pointer is I have played with Bernardo Silva, Darren Bent, Andre Farunin, and Anthony Martial. I butchered that third name, but you know who I'm on about.
Go on, say them names again. Right.
Just try it as slow down in English.
Want me to repeat myself?
Yes, please.
Bernardo Silva,
Yeah.
Darren Bent, Andre Farunin, the Ukrainian striker, and Anthony Martial.
Darn, man. Darn.
Is this all at club level, right?
Yeah, I shouldn't tell you what it is.
Being nice.
I'll be nice because he's a rusty.
Whew. That's quite a tricky one.
He's got Mr. Martial in there.
It's Voronin that flows me. I don't know where he has been other than Liverpool.
Any puns?
No, I've not got anything. I'm going to throw a random name out there and say Fabio Cointreau. That doesn't even fit the 2 categories, does it?
Jake, for the win. Or to keep yourself in the game, sorry.
Oh, this is actually. I fucking can't think.
Gonna have to push you, my man.
I'm going to apologise right now for any background noise. I know we're not in the professional studio anymore. We've done our best.
I've not even got a pump, mate. I can't think.
All right, next clue, Ryan. He's
I have
lost.
scored 94 Premier League goals.
Ooh. 94. He's scored 94 Premier League goals.
Seasoned finisher.
It's not Berbatov, is it?
It is Berbatov.
It is.
It is Berbatov.
He's played with Darren Bent.
He's played with Andre Voronin.
Yeah. Oh, I bet that'll be back in Bulgaria or wherever. Where does he play with Voronin?
At Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where does he play with Bent?
Fulham.
Bent was at Fulham.
I didn't know that either.
When was Darren Bent at Fulham?
I just got this wrong.
It must just have been right at the end of his career because I don't remember.
Oh, right
that
at the start. I know. Berbatov went after United, didn't he? Went to Fulham.
Right. Well, our final player.
That's blown my mind.
Come on, bit of redemption.
Oh yeah, on loan at Fulham, 3 goals in 24 games. Fair
There
play.
you go.
Absolutely.
Done my research.
Should have trusted you.
You scared me, fair. Not really. But final player, I have played with Kurt Suma, Shinji Kagawa, and Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Well, I just wrote Henrik Mkhitaryan down, and I think I've spelt it right on the first go. It looks right. I surprised myself with that. That should have been an extra point for that. You can spell Mkhitaryan. Kurt Zuma, Shinji Kagawa, Henrik Mkhitaryan. So is that stunned silence?
And from the previous answers,
Is
you'll be
it
able to figure out.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang?
It is. You got a 3-pointer.
Fucking, do you know what? As bad as I've done today, a bit of redemption at least.
Yeah.
Start the season with a 3-pointer.
Zuma at Saint Etienne, Kagawa at
Dortmund, I
and
think.
Mkhitaryan at Arsenal. Did he play with Mkhitaryan at Dortmund as well?
Yeah, probably
I
would
think
have.
so, yeah.
And there we go.
Fair play, Ryan. That was a decent little quiz to get us back into it.
Yeah, fair
Back
play.
into the swing of the face. And Augie takes 4 points. Augie takes the win.
I'll take that. I've come back a different person this year. I had a bit of a slow start to the quizzes last year. I'm sure we can all remember the Fernando Torres answer for the Premier League 100 club. The second name I pulled out, Fernando Torres, who hasn't scored.
He had a
100
very
goals.
strong end to the season last season.
Yeah,
Big comeback.
I've grown into the role.
It feels like I'm still shell shocked from that, to be honest. I've recovered.
You
Like
just
Tottenham after the Champions League final.
you do a bit of practice, Jake, and try again next week.
Do you know, I'm going to get back on Sporkle and just start answering footy questions.
Yeah, maybe that's why we've gone so rusty, because we used to spend so much time at uni doing football quizzes. We wanted to do a bit of transfer talk, but I'm going to slip another little category in before we get to that. The England game last night. I raised this point in the group chat, and Ryan wasn't too happy with me. Here we go. But it's not just me. A few of my friends who are impartial as well have been saying the same thing. I've looked on Twitter. There's a lot of people saying a similar sort of thing to me. Is that Trent Alexander-Arnold? I'm not going to bring Gomez into it at this point because I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch. But Trent, when has he ever done it for England? Answer me that.
To be honest, I caught the second half because I was playing footy last night during the first half. I think, didn't he get brought off about halfway through?
I think it was later on. It was about 85th minute, something like that. I think he come off for Maitland-Niles.
I mean, you know my views on England. I'm not like massively fussed on. For me, a positive England game for me is if our players come off with no injuries. But it really is. It really is.
But putting that aside,
but to be honest, like what players really do cut at international level the same way they do at club level though?
Harry Kane.
Does he though?
Sterling.
No, really.
He won the World Cup Golden Boot. I know they weren't the best goals.
Yeah, but who did he score against though? Like he got an MBE for scoring against Farmers.
So your defence of Trent being...
I'm not saying that I'm not exempting him. What I'm saying is, I don't think there's any players that play for England that are any better than they are for the club sides. 9 times out of 10, they're normally worse.
I know what you're saying, but Trent was really bad.
Yeah, everyone's prone to a few things.
I've got some stats here.
Here we go.
86 minutes played, 19 passes, 57% pass accuracy, 0 out of 7 crosses accurate, 2 out of 9 long balls accurate, 0 shots, 0 chances created, possession lost 21 times.
There you go.
Tell me that Aaron Wan-Bissaka would have not been better in that game.
Do you know what? I was having this discussion last night with someone. I would much rather Aaron Wan-Bissaka be in that England team. Just for my own selfish reasons.
What, just so he don't get injured?
Literally.
I just...
much rather it.
Well, who do you want, Doggy? Going forward, would you rather see Wan-Bissaka in what starting lineup?
Especially, right, compared to... like you look at the way that England are set up, especially last night. Would you really think Aaron Wan-Bissaka would do a better job as a wing-back?
I think he'd probably be a better wing-back, yeah.
Really?
So in future, you're saying you want him starting?
I'm just saying he should be in with a shot. He should be in the squad.
Yeah, but let's be... I mean, if we're talking about England then, like, just before we go back onto transfer talk, Can we have a bit of a word about the squad that was announced for it, though? Because for me, that made no sense. To take 3 hold midfield players with the amount of centre-backs he took, that can all play as a centre-back, and to take no left-backs.
It was a disgusting team.
To me.
I feel like
it made no sense.
He didn't want to make a decision on the right-backs, did he? So you just thought, I'll just play one left-back.
But that's my thing, though. Why has he not brought a left-back?
I think Chilwell's injured, and Shaw's obviously injured.
Saka?
Yeah, Saka, especially playing wing backs. I don't know why I didn't just bring Saka.
Like, I don't know whether you'll agree with me on this, but how are you calling up Calvin Phillips after he's not played a single game of Premier League football, regardless of how good or not he is?
Ahead of Grealish as well.
Level. Ahead of Grealish at first, and then ahead of Saka, who's proven at the Premier League level.
I thought he was alright last night, to be fair, Phillips. He didn't do anything wrong, but...
Do you know what? Watching him for Leeds, he's a good player, but how is he any more proven to the England setup than Saka is?
Yeah.
That's my argument.
I see what you're saying.
Well,
yeah.
Southgate,
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of... yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was nice to see that the best right back in the world can cut it at a different team in a different system.
That's alright. I'll just cut it winning Champions Leagues and Premier League.
Anyway, there's transfers I feel like we should address. There's a lot of transfer activity.
I
Probably.
think it's better to start at used to
Yeah.
a lot more interesting than we are.
I do want to ask you what your thoughts are on your transfer window, but we'll start with United and the transfer that has already gone through, Donny van der Beek. What are your thoughts on that?
Exciting. For you.
Would you have wanted him?
I would have taken him. Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
It's a good
That's what
sign
we're here for.
that he's a really good player. But
Oh, here we go.
in a sense of, is he what you need?
I think I've seen I can't remember who it was on TalkSport made this point and made a little bit of a song and dance about it, saying that we shouldn't be spending money on another creative sort of central midfielder when we haven't addressed a left back or a centre back. I think
a right winger.
Or right winger, yeah. I think the problem is he came up for 40 million and it was sort of too good of a deal for us to turn down. Other clubs were interested in. We just thought 40 million for that player. We need depth in that position. Why not? Why not spend?
But would that 40 million? Because I mean, obviously with the whole coronavirus shit, sending like transfers into a bit of a frenzy, you won't have as much money to spend as you normally would. So is that 40 million? Would that 40 million have been better spent on, like you said, on a left back or on a holding midfield player or a centre back, or towards the big transfer we'll get on about, which is Sancho? Would that not have been better spent there rather than a position which you've got good depth in already?
Yeah, I think
you've already got Bruno, you've already got Pogba.
I think it all depends what happens on the rest of the transfer window. If we went through the rest of the transfer window, didn't sign any of those players and just signed Donny van der Beek, yeah, then it would have been to look back on it and say that was a stupid idea.
Well, who do you need now?
I think we've got to get Sancho done. I don't know if we don't. I'm a bit worried if we don't get him done. Who comes in instead of him?
I was going to say, who would you think? So, say for example, obviously, Dortmund have come out and said they don't want to sell. Who would you want as the next kind of one down the line? The next on the pecking order?
I literally don't even know any other player that we've been linked with. I think we got
do
linked
you know
with
who I've seen you've linked with?
Coman.
But someone like Campbell, I'm sure you've been linked with, and then which just makes me laugh. But fucking what's his name for Bournemouth? Davy Brooks.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of papers saying, "Oh, it's the alternative to Sancho." That's definitely not true. Like, there's no way.
I'd be so disappointed if I was you if you went from Jadon Sancho to David Brooks, albeit he's a good player, but that's some step.
I think there's no way that David Brooks is coming in to play that right wing role.
It'd be another Ben James situation, I think.
Yeah, but he's not even a similar sort of player, is he? He's more
like a number 10, isn't he?
Yeah, number 10. There's no way he's coming in to play as an out-and-out ringer. I don't think that's the two alternatives. I think it'd be someone like, not that we get him, like Kingsley Coman, someone that actually is a winger.
I think you could get Coman.
Maybe, yeah, but his injury record.
In Sane, aren't they?
I don't even want to think about it. I'm still all my eggs in the Sancho basket. But I am happy with Van der Beek because if he come in or didn't come in, we'd be back to one injury to Fernandes or Pogba. We'd be back to Andreas Pereira and Lingard.
Do you know who starting. I don't get why he didn't go? Do you know who I don't get why he didn't at least inquire about if you haven't? Thomas Partey at Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
crying out for a whole.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And he seems like he's available for about the same price you got Van der Beek. Yeah. Surely he would have made Arsenal a lot more sense.
I must admit, I haven't watched a massive lot of him, but I did watch him against you in the Champions League, and I thought he was incredible. Yeah, I thought he was really good.
That's the best example I've seen of how good he is. He just destroyed our midfield.
We haven't really been linked to that many holding midfields. I don't think that's on our list this season. I think that maybe I don't really know why. I think maybe because Matic has signed a new contract, and he's sort of been playing Fred in the holding midfield with Pogba. I think maybe they're delaying that till next season, sorting out left back and right wing this season. I would like a holding midfield, but I think that's going to have to wait.
So what would a successful United transfer window look like for you then?
Yeah, I tweeted this the other day on the Two Reds One Devil Twitter. I think I want a left back. We've been linked with that Reguilon and Tellez.
From Sevilla.
I think we're going to get one of them done. It seems like they're sort of picked up in the last few days. I'd be happy to get that. A bit of competition for sure. Puts Brandon Williams over to the right hand side because he does look a little bit out of place at left back. And then Sancho. I think even them three, I think I'd be happy with. If we get someone like Thiago, that's a bonus.
Is Jack Grealish out window?
I think we won't be out, especially not now we've got Van der Beek.
Well, I was going to say, if you went and got Grealish now after Van der Beek, that's just overkill, isn't it, really?
Yeah, that's not what we need. Now we've got Van der Beek. Maybe next season. Maybe next season we get Grealish and a holding midfielder. Then wow.
Do you not think though? The other thing is obviously if Sancho comes in, that'd be great. But if he doesn't come in, do you not think you're a bit lacking up front? In a sense of if one of those front three go down, obviously Greenwood, Martial, or Rashford, in the same way that we would be if one of ours go down, do you think you're a little bit short up there though?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I think if we didn't get Sancho, we'd have to sign someone else, and yeah, I think we are. Say if Martial gets injured, then we are in a bit of a pickle, shall we say? Because Rashford can play up front, but I don't think he's good up front.
But then I think you're bringing in Odi and Agallo up front.
Yeah, he can do a job Agallo. It depends how long the injury would be for. Yeah, I think, like you say, it's kind of like your situation. If we get lucky, we go a full season without any of them getting injured. Greenwood can play anywhere across the front three as a backup to potentially Sancho, Rashford, Martial, and then obviously Agallo as well. So it's just one of them. If we get lucky with injuries, we'll be all right. You can't address everything in one window, especially not with Corona.
No, definitely not. Is there anything else on United you just want to talk about at all? Is there any? You know better than me.
Yeah, there's Upamecano was linked for a while, but I feel like that's one that is a bit of a non-starter. I don't see why they'd sign him to a new contract with a release clause next summer, or is it? It's either next summer or January.
I think he'd be incredible next to Maguire.
Oh, he'd be class, but I don't know why they'd sell him now after he's just signed a new contract for like a tiny bit more than a release clause. It wouldn't make any sense. So I don't think we're in. We were linked with Badiashile from Monaco, which I thought would be a decent option because he's left-footed and young, and he wouldn't cost that much. But that's gone a bit quiet. So I feel like it's the left back we're more focusing on, and Sancho at the moment. And yeah, so sort of bridging over to your transfers, Thiago. He's sort of the man in the middle. Could go either way.
Well, it all depends, doesn't it? I think from what's coming out, it's all dependent on what's happening with Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a lot of what it's hinging on.
Do you not think he's going for very cheap, or rumoured to be going for very cheap?
Wijnaldum?
Yeah.
It's what happens when he's on the last year of his deal and he's 29, mate, though. Like, it's a hard one because I think the club don't want to sell him, but I don't think, from what's being said, I think he wants a longer contract than what the club are obviously offering, willing to offer him, because by the time, I think it's a 4-year deal he's after, which would take him up to, I think, 32, 33.
Would you be sad to see him go?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. He's given me some of my best moments as a Liverpool.
I was going to say I remember you rating him very highly. Would you not be a bit annoyed with the club for not offering a better contract and keeping him?
No, because you can understand it. You don't want to offer him a 4-year deal. Like, you don't want him at the age of 33 on such high money.
I think the way that there's been a lot of outcry on. I don't know whether you'll have seen it, right, but LFC Twitter is a toxic fucking place. There's been a lot of outcry about FSG not getting the wallets out and spending, but then considering we've built the way this club's gone over the last 10 years, they've built it on being sustainable. I think it makes a lot of sense. I don't get why everyone's kind of losing sleep over it. Because, I mean, surely it would make more sense. It's considering everything going on, if there's not the money there to kind of... If we haven't got the finances to go and spend, then surely we're going to have to sell someone to make room. And we've already sold Lovren. I'm assuming there'll be a couple of other lads that'll go. I think Lallana's off the wage bill. I think Wilson might go. Grujic might go for a bit of money. So I think
what I've heard about who might be leaving is Brewster.
Well, yeah, Joe, I was going to bring that up as well. See, considering the way Klopp talks about him, that would make no sense to me.
I don't see it making sense at all. I understand where there's been talk of a release clause, or not a release clause, sorry, a buyback option.
Yeah.
But why get rid of it all? Surely, as Champions League and Premier League winners within the last 2 seasons, we do not need to sell our up-and-coming youngsters to make money for other transfers. It does not make any sense. Would it not make
more sense to loan him again?
Yeah, loan him if need be. I'd personally keep him. I think I've seen enough about from
I think he
Swansea.
could do what Origi does.
Yeah.
Yeah, come in for like 10, 15 games a season and just fill in that striker, front three role.
Yeah,
Because
I would be
mean,
happy.
I know it's a step down playing the Championship, but then look at how good Mount and Abraham have been for Chelsea
Yeah,
after making a step up. He's
in
good
an
enough to
ideal
do it.
world, I'd love Brewster as our backup striker this season. But if not, I would love to see him loaned out to a Premier League club. But I do not want to see him sold. Release clause or no release clause, I want him here at the club.
Yeah, definitely.
Where do you think a young player develops better? 'Cause I can't. Where was I seeing this debate as well? I think it was someone talking about Ethan Laird at United, who's a sort of up and coming right back, who's quite highly rated. If we were to sign a left back like Tellez or Reguilon, it would mean Williams going over to right back. I mean, we basically got 4 fullbacks, and Laird wouldn't get any game time, or he plays backup to sort of them 4, or he goes out on loan. So I feel like I'd say going out on loan for a young player is better than playing as a backup.
It depends.
Yeah, I understand
though.
that point, but in regards to Brewster, like we need a backup striker. You're talking about Ethan Laird being sent out because you have cover in that area already.
Yeah.
Liverpool
And I think-
up top don't.
I think
We
as
have a
well, what you
Origi, but
gotta
he hasn't really
consider-
performed.
What you got to consider as well is how much experience they've had. Because Laird's not had any first team experience.
Yeah,
really.
true.
So he's in need of that to see if he's proven. Brewster's been out on loan. He
Yeah.
went and proven it. Like I think was it only I think there was only one player who was under 21 that had more goal involvements than him since he got there.
Yeah, he was so good
He
for
was
Swansea,
absolutely
wasn't he?
ridiculous. But then it begs the question: then what's the next step for him? Is it a Premier League loan move, or is it trying to break into the first team? And it's I don't know which would be better, to be honest.
If you're
He
Ian
came out and
Brewster,
said-
if you're Ian Brewster, what would you want to do?
He
I
has
think
came
he-
out and said he wants to stay and fight first place.
I was going to say, I think he backs himself. I think any young player who knows they've got ability backs himself to break into the first team. So I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think a lot of it will be paper talk, nothing else.
I hope so.
Where do you think he could go?
Newcastle were in for him. West Ham were in for him. He's a West Ham local lad.
I don't think
So
he'll go
they've been
Newcastle
interested.
now they've signed Wilson, though.
No, not Villa after they've signed Watkins.
West Ham?
Yeah,
Maybe
West Ham
Sheffield United, maybe?
potentially, yeah. I haven't seen them linked with him though.
I'm just thinking of clubs that he'd
Yeah.
maybe get a chance at, getting good game time. I mean, even some of the clubs that have came up. I mean, I know Leeds have just went and signed Rodrigo.
I think he'll flop. That's my prediction. I don't know why. I've got a bad feeling about Rodrigo. I know you put him in your.
What do you reckon?
I know it's Bamford you put in your fantasy team, in it, Ryan. But yeah,
I'd
I don't
rather-
know. Just something about Rodrigo. I feel like he's not actually scored that many goals, has he? He's not that prolific. I feel like it's a lot of money for a newly promoted team to spend.
You know what though? Just from what people say about the way Bielsa what Bielsa wants from his strikers is just hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, true. What do I know? I'm not not doubting Marcelo Bielsa. Yeah, I want the Thiago thing. We sort of touched on it, but we haven't really gone into it in too much detail. What do you think about Thiago? Would you want him if Wijnaldum goes?
Yes, definitely.
I'd want him if Wijnaldum stays.
Really?
I'd want him regardless. Just watching him in this, especially this season for Bayern, it's. I think between him and someone like De Bruyne, I think the two clear best centre midfielders in the world.
Yeah, I thought he was unbelievable in the
And
Champions
that
League
Champions
final.
League final, oh my god, it was like men against boys watching him and Kimmich against PSG's midfield.
Do you think perhaps it's another situation where he's wanting a longer contract, and like you say with Wijnaldum, you don't want to be committing to that much money for an older player? He's probably after a similar contract to what Wijnaldum wanted.
I mean, possibly it could be about the fact that he's got a really bad injury record.
True, yeah.
Like, I feel like before maybe the last 2 years, every time you ever heard anything like Thiago's great player, but he's on the treatment table again, and you're like, well, do you want to pay 30 million for a player who's you're not going to get that many years out of per se? Could potentially be injured for some of them years, and you're then losing a player in Wijnaldum. If that's the way it goes, that is a very reliable player, doesn't tend to get injured. Will always is going to stay around the same level until that point. So I don't know.
But then that is 30 million, which in this current market isn't bad
That
for
is a
a
bargain.
for a player that was arguably the best player in a Champions League final and can absolutely run the show. I think he'd take your midfield to another level.
Oh, I was going to say though, I think he'd give us a completely new dimension because I think you've got Wijnaldum and Henderson at the minute they offer very similar things. We don't have anyone really that's able to just dictate play. Like you've got Pogba that's able to do that. City got De Bruyne, Silva, even Gundogan to some extent can do it. We've got no one really that can do that. Like Henderson kind of dictates the speed of it. He'll control it, but Thiago can control games on his own.
Yeah, I'd hate it if he goes to you because I do actually rate him. I wouldn't like actually rating one of your midfielders.
One thing, well, I mean, you say we're touching on transfers. I mean, we have only made one signing this summer.
Do you think you should make more?
Yes. I think in the same way you said that you need a few players, I think we just need squad depth.
Where though?
I think, well, we've addressed the left back problem, so we've now got 2 left backs competing for first team, which I don't know what the Simicus is going to be like, but I think any signing Klopp's made's been pretty positive for the most part, and it didn't cost a lot either, so not got any complaints there. I think we could do with if Brewster's not going to stay, then we need another player that's going to fill in for that front three.
Do you think there could be any sort of benefit to just having a settled squad and not making any signings or making very few signings? Because I was watching the Spurs All or Nothing documentary.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I will talk about that at the end. And now football news. And I think it was Ben Davis who sat sort of having food with a couple of the other players, and he was saying that why is there always the need? Because I'm watching Sky Sports. Why is there always the need to sign players? Like, why can they not just have a settled squad every window, every 6 months? We need players. There's a demand for players. Do you think just literally just having a settled squad could make a difference?
That's what we've had though, isn't it?
Exactly.
But then I think there's also an argument for players can get very complacent. Like you look at possibly, I mean, it's maybe the way City's gone, where I think some of their players got complacent. I think Barca did it under Pep as well, where the players got a bit complacent. Because I think when there's no competition, when you're almost like established and you've got no competition, you may fall back on your laurels a little bit. I don't know, just have it. It's like
I only said just because you said there's all that sort of outrage at your owners for not signing anyone, but you have just won the league by your record margin. If you're as good as you say you are,
it's that kind of fine balance, though, isn't it? It's whether you want to stick to what you know and kind of trust in the players you've got to do it again, or whether you want to build on what you've already got. Because it's that kind of thing. Like I said, you can't. It's trying to guard against complacency.
Yeah.
Because imagine you win the league, everyone else is strengthening, they're closing the gap to you. So how do you then kind of try and keep that gap? And that's where
you don't want to stand still.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for all the outrage that there is at your owners, I think you've been quite well run over the last couple of years. I don't normally say nice things about Liverpool, but I think making just 1 or 2 good signings a window, even just a summer, which is perhaps more usual.
I mean, if we don't sign anyone, I think there's going to be a lot of expectation on someone like Minamino to perform.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's the newest addition to the squad, so I think besides the left back we've got, and he's looked good in pre-season, but then pre-season's made Markovic look good at times, so I'm not trusting anything like that. And then I think it's on some of the younger lads. I think Curtis Jones got a big season ahead of him.
How much do you think he'll play?
I think he'll play a fair bit. I think with Lallana going, and if we don't sign another midfielder, he'll have that squad role. I think.
Do you think he's replacing Lallana?
Yeah.
In the squad, yeah. I think then you've also got to look at Brewster. Obviously, I think Elliott should kick on this season. I think Williams as well. At right back. But I think there will be expectation on those players if we don't make any other signings.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. And I mean, touching on I think I touched on it before about the fact that everyone else is strengthening. I mean, I want to just go into a bit of get your thoughts on the transfer window as a whole. So obviously, both of us are I mean, the way yous are going, yous are going to want to be competing for the title, because obviously yous have got into third by the end of the season. Fantastic end of the season. The next step will be the title.
I think if we sign Sancho, then
Yeah.
we should be challenging for the title.
Are you afraid now that maybe even your spot in the top four is going to be up for grabs, considering the signings Chelsea are making? You know, Arsenal looking to make a few signs, Spurs have made a few.
I think at this moment in time, yeah, I am a bit, because as good as Van der Beek is, he is just going to be a squad player more than anything, and we need strength in our starting 11, which we don't have at the moment, and Chelsea are definitely going to have. And yeah, obviously Wolves are always strong. Tottenham, I think, will actually be good this season. I think they'll be a difficult side to beat. And obviously City, Liverpool, there's only 2 more spaces in the top 4. Well, I say that, you never know.
I think you and Chelsea are in a very similar position, or were at the start of the window, in that I think you needed a few additions around the park, and I think they've near enough addressed that. I think they could still maybe do with another centre back, but some of the signings they've made up top, oh my word.
Yeah, I don't want to compare United too much, because a lot of people are getting frustrated at all the signings Chelsea are making, but you've got to remember that they did have a transfer ban.
Yeah.
And they'll have saved a lot of money that they were planning to spend that summer. So they obviously are in a better position, but still, their team, their potential starting 11 is a serious force to be reckoned with.
Mason Mount, who's had a cracking first season in the Premier League, is probably going to be on the bench, is a very scary prospect.
I mean, I don't think I'd be petrified of him coming off the bench, I'm not going to lie.
No, but I'm saying, you think of how good of a player he's been.
He sends shivers down your spine when you see him warming up.
Well, I know you don't. It's you that doesn't rate him.
No, I do think he's good. He's a good squad player. That's probably, I think he's found his role now.
Do you know what though? I think he's very unfortunate in the fact that they've been able to get Havertz.
Yeah.
Because I think another season in the Premier League, you'd be talking about a very serious player there in Mount. But
I think
the fact Havertz is signed, you're stunting that growth completely.
I'm going to say Donny van der Beek and Mason Mount will have similar numbers this season.
Probably. But then they're probably going to get similar game time.
That's where I'd rate Mason Mount. You think I absolutely hate him. I think he is a good player. Like Van der Beek, I don't think he's going to be set the world alight, Van der Beek, but I think he will come on. He'll score the odd goal. He'll get the odd assist, score an important goal, and that's about it. He's not going to kick Fernandes out of the team. I don't think he's not going to kick Pogba out of the team.
No, you don't know.
Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but
you don't know.
That's what I'd say at the moment.
But I mean, you look at their options now. Though I mean, even someone like Abraham to come off the bench, who's had a solid season.
Yeah,
Hudson Odoi's a solid player to come off the bench.
Giroud's still.
Giroud's still there.
Timo Werner.
I've seen a lot of talk about him, and obviously he's very highly rated. A lot of there's a podcast to listen to, and I think they were predicting that he's probably going to end up top scorer of the season, which
I don't know.
It's high hopes for someone that's not played Premier League football before, but it shows the level of hype around him.
I'm backing Anthony Martial for that one.
Ooh, really?
Yep.
Well, do you know what? We'll
if he stays fit,
leave predictions to the very end.
Yeah.
Because we'll do we're gonna round things off at the end with like some season predictions.
Yeah. Were you annoyed you didn't get Werner? Or didn't sort of get that heavily linked with him?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Did you say you wanted if you want Brewster to develop that much, why would you want Werner?
Because when you've got a player that's that good for 60 million, it's like the Van der Beek situation, mate.
So in hindsight, do you think you didn't need him? Or was it just
it's one of them ones where it's like if a player's that good and for such a good price, you'd be stupid not to. But I think as well, Klopp did make it very clear that he did want him at one point. So it made sense. I just think financially it didn't for us, because of all the coronavirus shit that's happened. But like you said, Van der Beek, he came available for a great price, and you thought, well, we do need depth there, so it makes sense on that level.
Sorry, to flick back to Jadon Sancho again. I do remember Jake Borrett. If I really have to, I will go digging for this bit of audio. But I remember you saying there is no chance Jadon Sancho will join Manchester United. This was in January sort of time.
But to be
You
fair,
laughed.
at
You
that
laughed.
point,
You laughed at
yeah.
me.
No, at that point though, you were how far off the top four.
I
Yous
know.
have had I'll come up, Joe. I'll hold my hands up. You've had a fantastic end to the season, and you've put yourself in such a good position now to be able to attract players. Because in January, I wouldn't have said you'd have been able to attract someone like Van der Beek simply for the fact that there would have been teams that would have been in for him that would have been able to do better. I mean, you've also got to put into the fact that coronavirus has thrown everyone off.
I think
So
the word you're looking for is sorry.
It's not. I'm not apologising.
For laughing in my face when I had a dream that we could get top four inside Jadon Sancho.
Do you know what though? I still don't. It's not even.
Oh yeah, I know.
Sign him, though.
I know. I am absolutely bricking it.
Because if Dortmund don't want to let him go and he's contracted to him, then they can just wait till next summer. They've got no issues there.
We'll go back to the rivals. We've mentioned Chelsea. Are you worried about Arsenal?
Not really.
Not really. Won the FA Cup, beat City.
They look good under Arteta, but they haven't really made. I mean, who have they signed? They've signed Gabriel.
Yeah, they've not actually signed.
They won't be challenging at the very top, I don't think.
I think they could be a good shout for top four this season.
Yeah,
maybe
top four.
I think.
I don't think. I think with Aubameyang, they're always going to be up there. But then, I don't know.
I think you'd be a little bit more nervous next season when you come up against them. Like last season, you kind of think, right, we should beat these. These aren't actually that good. But this season, I think you'd be a little bit more.
Got him playing great football though.
Yeah.
Arteta's got him doing a good job there.
I mean, we should really address City as well.
City is still a few signs away, I think, though.
Do you think they sign Nathan Ake
Sign Torres.
Does he address it,
and
though?
Torres?
But
Torres
does
replaces Sane.
But does Ake really address that problem at the back?
It depends where they're going to play him. Do you think they'll play him centre back or left back?
Centre back,
I
surely.
didn't even think. Surely got to be centre back, but then it's. I mean, Carragher came out and said it at the time, didn't he? Like, playing two left-footed centre backs is something that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Surely it's him and Laporte, or he plays left back. And then surely they'd need another centre back.
Why are you
That's
saying
what I'm
Nathan
thinking,
Ake as left back?
I don't know. That's what I mean.
Surely he could have had better, especially the way he likes to play. He could have gotten better left backs than Nathan Ake.
That's what I mean. So surely he's playing two left-footed centre backs. Just
But then
strange.
it begs the question: is he good enough really for City? 'Cause I think Ake's a fine player, but
Could it be another John Stones? Good, but just not world class. Yeah, I think they're a couple of signings away.
I'd be very surprised if they don't go out and sign another centre back.
I've not seen
To be
them
honest,
linked with anyone.
To be honest, there was one point in the window where I really was bricking it about a week or two ago when the whole Messi rumours were going.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, because I think we had this debate in the group chat, didn't we?
Yeah, that was
I think we said
scary.
like if Messi signs like that, could mean the end for everyone. To be honest,
That's lights out, yeah. So that is. I think we can all say a little thank you. Put our hands to the sky and say thank. Yeah, for just not getting silly with that one and just keeping him there. Because I think he'd be so good at City.
I just think if you have De Bruyne and Messi in that team, you're guaranteed like 20 assists each from them, not counting the goals they're going to score from each other. Like, that'd be frightening.
Do you think we could have more of an exciting title race this season?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Surely, say United do sign Sancho, and I'll keep going on about it, and I will until the day we sign him, and then after that as well.
I guarantee every week until October you're going to mention us now.
If United signs Sancho, there is 4 title challengers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
what, though?
City, Liverpool, United. That is.
I think the biggest thing that's going to be a factor this season is squad depth.
Yeah, there's going to be injuries, isn't there?
There's going to be so. But think about it, like the calendar's going to be condensed. There's going to be so many more games per week. It's going to be so hard for the teams at the top to catch. Well, I mean, the teams that are smaller are going to fall away. I think the likes of Wolves, Everton, Leicester, and Sheffield United, who did really well last season. Well, Everton didn't do really well last season, but would be expected to be around the Europa League places, are going to fall away because they haven't got that squad depth.
I don't know. Wolves have been addressing that sort of. They've signed a central midfielder, haven't they? They've signed a striker. That's a Lost Doherty. Yeah, true. They signed a left back as well. How outrageous is that fee, by the way? That's gone under the radar a bit. 35 million for that Portuguese striker. He's played
18-year-old.
He's played 9 games and scored 1 goal. That's like
I didn't even know about that.
That's like someone paying 35 million for that Aaron Connolly from Brighton. I think he scored more than 1 goal. Not to disrespect him, like that is a mental fee, isn't it? And it's not like it's
How
a.
do you even get much game time?
You say that, but that's like the going fee in football right now.
For an 18, like, he must be so highly rated. I've heard of it.
Realistically, how much is he going to play for ahead of Jimenez?
He's
In
what?
information where if you play one striker.
Well, it's like Jay said, they're in Europa
play,
League, aren't they, Wolves?
They play
Yeah.
Jota though, don't they? They play almost like a 2 up front.
Yeah. Surely if he's in, if the Wolves are in the Europa League, he's going to play all them games. Like, who's their backup striker? Jota.
Was it Pedence?
Pedence, yeah.
He's
They haven't
like
really.
wide as well.
They haven't really got another player that's sort of in the mould
No,
of
no.
Jimenez, and I think that young lad is a sort of big, physical striker like Jimenez. Yeah, maybe they could prove us wrong, Wolves. Maybe they could stick their noses in.
Possibly. Have to wait and see.
Any other teams we're worried about?
Spurs, what do we think of Spurs?
I think Højbjerg's a good signing.
And
Yeah.
Doherty?
Yeah, I think they're
Not
kind of
too
smart signings. They'll suit Mourinho. They're going to work hard.
Yeah.
They've not got not like egotistical kind of players. The sort of
think, to
players
be honest,
Mourinho likes.
Do you know what? I think it might just be because I've watched. I've been up to date with the Spurs documentary, but I don't know. There's a bit of me that's rooting for them now. Just
Yeah.
I've seen, like I used to really not like Spurs because I thought they're just a bit like they're too kind of like plain as a club.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think with Mourinho then, just the way that it's shot in that documentary, I'm kind of I'm rooting for him a little bit.
It's
It's
very.
a bit strange, but Spurs, they have the likes of Harry Kane, Heung-min Son. They've got a world-class manager who's used to winning the trophies.
Yeah.
But do you see them challenge for the title?
No.
Maybe not the title, but I mean,
But why
do you know
not?
what, though? You say that. I think with Mourinho there, anything's possible.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I'm
as
thinking. With
bad as
Mourinho and some
Mourinho's
world-class
fallen
players,
in
why
recent
can't they come
years-
to challenge?
I mean, why not?
I think they still need a few more signs to address their, like you said, their depth issues. Like,
Yeah, 'cause I
well,
think
you can see in that
once Kane goes
documentary,
out, they're fucked.
Mourinho's absolutely kicking himself when there's all them injuries. He's absolutely devastated. They haven't really got any back. They need a striker. They've not signed a striker, have they?
Not that I
No.
can think of now.
Like, why have they not signed a backup striker? They keep every year they cry when Harry Kane gets injured, and it's not fair. We get our best player gets injured. Why not just sign a backup? Every window they just go through and sign like a winger or a centre mid, and then play him up front when Harry Kane gets injured.
Well, like I think they've addressed the midfield now because obviously I think they were a little bit short in there in terms of actual quality because for whatever reason he's reluctant to play in Ndombele. So having Højbjerg in there is good. I think right back was a position they needed because Auré's a liability.
Yeah.
And then I think they really do need a strike. But who do you go for though if you're Spurs?
Yeah, I don't know if you go for a Premier League proven, maybe like a Josh King. I think them kind of signings are quite clever. Like
Because I
maybe,
would have said Callum Wilson
yeah,
if he hadn't have already.
yeah,
lost
like
it.
a player like him that's like proven Premier League quality. They're not going to be that expensive. Not gonna,
Right,
challenge
can
for
we
a starting spot.
Can we just appreciate was it a season or two ago that Callum Wilson was near enough like ready to sign the dotted line for Chelsea for about 50-60 million, and now he's signing for Newcastle.
Yeah, that is outrageous. Isn't it? I think he'll be good for Newcastle.
I think he will be. Yeah, I think he having that Alan St Maximin feeding him could be a really dangerous thing for them.
Do you think?
He's a proven goal scorer, isn't
Yeah, true. I think we should get onto predictions. We're sort of leaning towards it now, aren't we? Have you got your list of all your predictions to write down? Have you got your book or not?
I have my book in front of me, yes.
Lovely. So, are we going to answer the same questions as we did last season?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
I've
do
got written down here. You've got obviously top 6 relegation, top goal scorer, and then I've thrown in. Obviously, you got the rogue shout that we'd normally do. But I was going to say player of the season and young player of the season.
Yeah. I think I'm tempted to be really biased with this one. Spice things up a bit.
We all know you're going to be player of the season, don't we? Player of the season. It's so obvious. But do you know what, So do we want to go through the top 6 first then?
Yeah, start off with top 6.
Okay.
Jake-
So what do you think of?
Jake, am I going first? Top 6.
Yeah, go on.
I'm gonna say.
United.
I'm gonna have to say it, aren't I? I can't.
Here we go.
I'm going to put
Do you
United.
know what? I respect
United
it.
first.
Back you boys. Back you
United
boys.
first. You know, aim high. Only be disappointed. City second.
Ooh, wow, okay.
Chelsea third. Liverpool
Okay.
fourth.
Okay. Here's the bias. Here we
Well,
go.
tell me when you've found any form since lockdown. Oh wait, you can't.
We were cruising.
I'll carry on.
We already won.
Fifth, I'll have. I think Tottenham. And sixth, team we've not mentioned, Leicester. I think I'll scrape in. I don't know why. There's something about Wolves. I think will drop off.
Do you not think Arsenal will get in there? No.
No, I think Arsenal just. I know I bigged them up a bit, but I don't know. I think it may be just because I've been watching the Tottenham documentary. I kind of want to squeeze them in there. It's harder than you think. These top sixes. As soon as the season starts, I know we're going to be laughing at ourselves like, oh, how the hell did we think Liverpool would make top four? I'm joking. Jake, you do your top six.
Well, it's going to have to be Liverpool to retain the title.
It's nice that you're optimistic.
I'm going to go Chelsea second. City third. And then, see, my thing is, I want to put you. No,
don't be silly. Don't be silly.
No, my thing is, right, I think if you don't sign Sancho, you could potentially finish outside it. But then I think it's between you and Tottenham. But if you sign Sancho, you're definitely getting the top four. So I'm going to say United fourth.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go with, let's say, Spurs fifth, and then going to throw a rogue shout in and say Carlo Ancelotti's going to get Everton sixth. Why not?
Whoa. Forgot about Everton.
Why not? Carlo Ancelotti, great coach. Get him sixth. Come on, Carlo. James Rodriguez as well. Come on.
Ryan?
Well, I'm going to shock a few people, but I'm going to say City to get their title back.
Wow.
Reluctantly.
Not backing your
You're
boys.
not backing the boys, no.
I want to be different. I need a rogue shout.
He knows. He knows. Deep down, he knows.
Shocking that.
Well, oh,
So
sorry.
if we don't win the title, right, this is because you don't believe.
Now
That's
you're
literally all it is.
now you're not playing in the weakest Premier League of all time. You don't actually back yourself.
Oh, well, we'll see. Anyway, Liverpool second, Chelsea third, United fourth,
Three.
Spurs fifth, and sixth will be Wolves.
Okay. No one's backing Arsenal for top six.
No
then?
one's back in Arsenal yet.
Wow. No one rates Arteta. Fair play.
And is it relegated clubs?
Relegation.
I always struggle with this one. It's just so every time on paper, every club looks so like strong. You think, oh, they've done all right. They've strengthened here, they've strengthened there. They've got everything they need. And then as soon as the season starts, you're like, all right, he's a flop. They're rubbish. I think relegated. I'm gonna go
Does this
with.
have to be like we're not doing order for this? We're just saying the three teams that are
Yeah, we'll
relegated,
just. Yeah, it's too difficult to get the order. I'm gonna say Villa to go down. I think Ollie Watkins ain't gonna cut it. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's gonna keep him up. I'm gonna say West Brom because they're just a yo-yo club, and the other one I'm gonna throw in there's West Ham. I think they're a club in turmoil. Yeah, there's a couple of others that could be candidates to go down. I'm looking at the league table now. I think Leeds might just stay up. I think Bielsa's got enough. Fulham, I think they might have learnt their lessons from the other season when they come up and went straight back down. And I really like that Eberechi Eze that's signed for Crystal Palace, so I think he might keep them up. And it seems like they're going to keep hold of Zaha as well. So, yeah, Jake.
Right. I'm gonna go with Fulham simply because they are the other than West Brom, they are the one of the worst yo-yo clubs I've ever seen in the Premier League, especially recently. I'm then gonna also put West Brom in there, and then I'm torn between Brighton and Villa.
Brighton.
I just think I don't know. I think Graham Potter plays really nice football, but I look at that team and I think they're so average.
Neil Mopay, Lallana.
Yeah, they've signed some good players. They've signed Veltman from Ajax.
Do you know what, I'm going to go Villa. I think Grealish is going to end up going next season, or even if he does that, if he goes this season, they're fucked.
Do you know what? That was my thinking. I don't think we're going to get Grealish this season, but next season, Villa go down.
I think he'll have had enough by that point.
Yeah, another year off his contract. Sign him for $5 million.
So West Brom, as I say, West Brom, Fulham, and Villa.
Aston Villa.
Okay,
There we go.
All right.
Well, I pre-wrote my predictions, so I also have West Brom and Villa. But I've got a different team for my third one, and it's not one many people have said, but I think Leeds will go straight back down.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you not back Bielsa Ball?
I do love Bielsa, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the Premier League, but I don't know. I think their return has been overhyped. I think everyone's thinking once Leeds will return, they're there for good. But I think it'll be...
The football they played last season was good enough, like it was Premier League standard.
Oh no, it was great, but it takes you back to 2 seasons ago when Fulham came up. They were so exciting, they spent over 100 million, and they just turned out terrible.
Fair enough.
So I hope Leeds do stay up. I love seeing the Premier League, but I looked at the rest of the league and I was like, I think Burnley will have enough, Brighton will have enough, Palace will have enough. So it was process of elimination.
Fair enough. Okay.
So what are we going on to next?
Top goal scorer. You know what I'm going to say. And he does come from France, and the English press did say he had no chance. I'll have Anthony Martial, please, Ryan. Write it down.
Wrote down.
Underline it.
This is great. Who are you going for, Jake?
There's so many fucking shouts for this.
Timo Werner.
Werner's in my thinking, but I think he'll take. I don't know whether he's going to adapt straight away, and I think Chelsea might take a couple of weeks to properly gel. Aubameyang's a safe shout, but then I'm looking at someone like, Salah's capable of having an amazing season, and then you're also looking at someone like Harry Kane that if he can stay fully fit, it's like guaranteed 25 goals a season. So, Joe, we'll go with. I'll back the boy, Mo Salah.
Salah.
He's past it.
Well, I've pre-done my prediction, sorry, and I have said Salah to get top goal scorer.
Really?
But we'll also let the viewers know of a wee bet me and Augie have made
a
few weeks ago. So, do you want to tell them, Augie?
I'll let you tell him. It's your bet.
What was it, a tenner or 20 quid have we up the stakes in?
I'll up it to 20 quid.
Very
I
good.
don't think you should do that. I think
We're not students anymore.
I was going to say, I think you should up it to a Twitter post, to be honest.
Oh no, that's too far.
Hey, I'm sorry, I've had to do a Twitter post to see a
That's not
fucking
silly.
forfeit, so... I think if you back yourself, you up it to a Twitter post as well.
What was the bet, Ryan?
It was who will score more goals in... Is it just Premier League we're doing now? Because Martial obviously has the advantage of playing Farmers once he's finished third in the group stage.
Yeah, I can't remember what we said. I think we can do Premier League if you want. It doesn't really matter who outscore him in all of them.
Well,
who is he outscoring again? Martial to outscore who?
Salah.
Yeah.
Well, we just do Premier League, and I think we've decided we're not taking injuries into account. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. 20 quid locked in. We'll get back to you at the end of the season with who is richer.
And leading on to that, player of the season.
Player of the season.
I'm gonna go with Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not even convinced he's gonna be the best player in the league, but the way that the Premier League seemed to love him, like he was getting Player of the Month when he sort of didn't even have the best month. He's sort of the media darling, isn't he? Everyone seems to love him. So I think if he has anywhere near the sort of form that he did when he joined, he could be well in with a shout at player of the season. So I'll put Bruno
Shout,
down.
to be fair. Not a bad shout.
Jake?
I'm gonna go Kevin De Bruyne again.
Yeah, that's fair
I
enough.
just think he's so. I think he is the standout player in the Premier League. I think between him and someone like Van Dijk, who are like far and away the best players in the position in the world, I think he's unbelievable. Even if City don't win the title, it's one of them.
I'm going to go for a new signing. And I've wrote him down and I'm like, this is ambitious to say the least, but I'm going to go for Kai Havertz.
Really?
Yeah, as soon as I wrote it down, I was like, why did I do that? But
I think Ziyech should be better than him.
Reckon.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Joe could be a good shout for player of the season as well, Pulisic.
He's been very good, to be fair.
Especially his post-lockdown, oh my word.
Yeah.
And then we've got
a lot of good
player of
shouts.
the season.
You know what I'm going to say.
Well, we know, yeah. Let's just get that out of the way.
Providing he can behave himself, behave himself around the hotel room, Mason Greenwood. Jake?
Do I back me boy again? I'm between two.
I'm worried who you're going to say. I'm really worried who you're going to say.
No, there's going to be one that's completely biased, then there's another one who I do think is almost... It depends on how he adapts.
To be fair, how do you qualify for Young Player of the Year? Don't you just have to be... It's like under 27.
it's something silly.
Well, not be like... Yeah.
As long as you were
Yeah. I'm sure
as long-
Sterling won it when he was 24.
Yeah. It's like as long as you're under 21 at some point.
I'm gonna go for Alexander-Arnold again, but then I also think Havertz was my other shout. Because I think if he's anywhere near as good as what he was for Leverkusen, they have a serious player in their hands.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, Trent.
Ryan?
Let's go Trent.
Going for Trent. I'm going for Havertz, obviously. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, he's just not going to get player of the year, but I've locked it in.
Havertz again?
Yeah, why not?
Ballsy. And do we a rogue shout for the
Yes,
season?
of course. We need a road check.
So if you're new here, we do this sort of every weekend as well. Just do a completely rogue shout, the most random prediction that you can think of. I'm going to say Burnley are going to win a game by 6 goals. That's how rogue we're going.
Wow. Okay.
Get that written down, Ryan.
That's probably my favourite of.
That's thrown me that. Wow.
Honestly, if I tune in one day and Burnley are 4-0 up, I'm going to get really excited.
I think for road checks we get like +5 by the end of the season.
Yeah. Jake, you got one?
Wait, what was Rise then?
He's not done his yet.
Oh. Let's have a think.
In your own time.
I've not thought this far ahead. I completely forgot about the rogue shouts.
I mean, it's the most random one you can think of. It don't matter if
that's what
it's
I'm
out there.
just trying to think of something mad.
Just put a team in your head, a random situation in your head, stick them together, and pray it happens.
I'm gonna have Leeds to get Europa League football.
Whoa!
There you go.
Bielsa ball is gonna fly this year, boys.
Well, mine's also Leeds related. I'm going for Patrick for Bamford to reach double figures in the Premier League.
He's not gonna play.
We'll see.
No, I swear to God, if he gets 10 goals this season, I'm gonna be so upset.
That's only rogue because it's Patrick Bamford.
Literally.
Any other striker, you'd just be like, that's a bit boring. Is it any others? Or is that...
Champions League, maybe?
What do you mean? Who's going to win it?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well throw that one in.
Champions League.
Bayern again.
I can buy and I'll retain it, yeah.
Yeah. Anyone out there? Anyone else predicting?
I'm going for Inter Milan.
Whoa.
Oh, wow, okay.
If they keep Conte.
Couldn't even win the Europa League.
I'm gonna go Madrid.
Madrid.
Real.
Not sure about that one.
I just think Zidane knows how to win it.
Yeah, but they're getting on a bit now. They need some signings. Have they signed anyone?
I think they will do.
Yeah. It feels like a lot of transfer activity hasn't really happened yet.
You got to remember, there's still like 2 months left of the window.
Is it 2 months? Is that how long there is?
2 months? Is it the end of October or the start of October? I can't
Surely
remember.
it's the start of October.
I
Yeah,
just know
that's
it
still a
was
long time
extended
to be fair.
massively, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's a fair few weeks left. Then are we doing the weekend predictions as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, might as well.
5 written down here.
While we're at it.
We'll go straight in.
Yeah, go for it.
First game of the Premier League 2020-21 season is Fulham at home to Arsenal.
Oh, what an exciting fixture.
Fulham at
It's
home
not
to
worse.
Arsenal. I'm going to say 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. I'm going to go for 2-2.
I'm going to say 3-0 Arsenal.
Not much faith in Fulham
No.
from either of you.
They'll just get found out. They'll just realise they're back in the big time.
I just think if they're anywhere near as bad defensively as they were last time, they're going to get pumped every single week.
Well, what about West Ham versus Newcastle?
Ooh.
Ooh.
2-1
Wanna go-
Newcastle.
Away win.
Yep.
I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle.
Ooh.
I need West Ham to go down, don't I? So
I was going to say 2-1, but I don't want to predict.
start as we mean to go on.
I'm going to go for a 1-1. And Brighton, Chelsea.
Ooh, 3-1 Chelsea. Gonna get everyone a bit worried.
I think it's going to be a statement. I think it's going to be 5-1.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I think it's going
I
to be
agree
a
with you
massive
there,
statement.
Jake.
Away at Brighton.
Yeah, I just think they'll have all the new signs on show, and I think it's just going to be a bit of a statement. But I do think they'll
Yeah, I
concede.
agree with you, Jake. I've also went for a statement, but with one goal less, I'm going to go 4-1.
Okay.
Next game.
And then we have Spurs, Everton.
Ooh, that's quite a good game, that.
I might go 2-2 in
Think
that
it's
one.
on Sunday.
2-2, please.
2-2. I'm going to go for 0-0.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Everton, and I'm going to say James Rodriguez to score the winner is my rogue shout
There we go.
for this week.
We'll start off easy with the road shouts this week. Doesn't have to be too obscure.
Is there another game to predict? I might do mine at
Oh
the
yeah,
end.
there's one more. It's Liverpool at home to Leeds.
Ooh.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win.
1-1.
1-1.
I don't like predicting Liverpool wins,
I know.
as you may know.
I'm going to go same as Ryan, 2-0 Liverpool win.
Here we go.
Is that-
So,
Rogue shouts.
just road shout.
I'm going to say Kieran Tierney to score.
Oh, okay.
Tierney. I'm going to go for Jared Bowen.
Oh, God. Ew. What's one of them?
He's in my
Alright,
fantasy team. He's going to shine this season.
Well, do you know what? Great little segue that. Before we end, do we want to mention the fantasy football?
Oh yeah, that's a good shout.
So I think we're going to be setting up a league. Obviously, we're all going to have our own teams in it. There's going to be a few other lads that are going to be taking part, but we will be tweeting the link out to it.
Yeah, it's already been tweeted.
Yeah,
It's already
been
tweeted.
Fantastic. And you can join and compete each week, and we'll do a little bit of a segment at the end of each week to kind of see who's at the top, who's doing well, etc.
Yeah, we'll
sounds
just get a
good.
bit of interaction between you. Let us
Yeah,
know what you want to
and,
hear.
I mean, what we could do at the end of each week, do like a shout out for whoever's top of the table each game week or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Sounds
Again,
good to me. And,
we want to hear your predictions. Hear what you want to hear from us. Yeah.
okay.
Let us know what you think of the new name change. 2 Reds, 1 Devil. Do you like it? Do you want it to stop? Well, unlucky because it's not going to stop. We're going to carry on churning this out, whether you like it or not.
Hopefully by next week I'll have a decent you'll actually be able to hear me.
Yeah, anyhow, we'll probably have some audio problems, but hopefully we can iron that out as the season goes on and get a bit better at using or doing it from home, because we haven't got. Yeah, it does feel strange.
It feels weird because now we aren't even able to like talk after it. We'll stay like we can't just.
Can't go for a spoon.
After.
Yeah.
Can't go for spoons.
I prefer looking at Ryan straight in the eye as I say something horrible about Liverpool.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it'll be something we'll talk about off camera, but face cams, yes or no?
Potentially, yeah. I think if it makes it worth our while, if we get a few little viewers coming back regularly, if it's worth our while, I'd do it.
I just don't think right now. I think we'd have to get decent equipment though, because
yeah,
I don't think webcams would cut it. To be honest, don't want to see Ryan's grainy face.
Yeah, that's something we can look at in the future as the season goes on. But yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Let us know your feedback. Give it a like, subscribe. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. And yeah, anything else from anyone else?
Nice to be back.
Nice to be back, yeah.
It's
Nice to be back talking about football. Nice to hear from you too. And we'll see you this time next week. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.